everybody, welcome back to 100% Mag. So Newcastle United yesterday took on West Brom at St James Park, ending in 2-1 with Newcastle United coming away the victors in that game. And of course, it's a quick turnaround to the next game where we'll take on Leeds United on the 16th. Hopefully we'll pick up the 3 points in that game as well, but it is going to be a tougher game with, of course, Marcelo Bielsa's side firing on all cylinders. They are, of course, below us in the table at this moment in time, but it is a really good side, so we're going to have to be careful about this game coming up. But talking about the game yesterday against West Brom, there was an absolutely sensational bit of play by Callum Wilson into the path of Joe Linton. Joe Linton, of course, passing the ball to Al Mirren to get the opening goal in under 20 seconds, which is absolutely sensational. That means that Newcastle have scored the first goal of the Premier League season. That is the fastest goal of the Premier League season, which is absolutely amazing. To know that Newcastle has broke once again another record this Premier League season. Of course, unfortunately, it wasn't all glitz and glamour though for Newcastle, as of course we let our foot off the gas thanks in no way to how Steve Bruce worked again on the sidelines. Absolutely terrible from Steve Bruce. He went too defensive, in my opinion, against West Brom, with of course going straight into the game. We got the goal early, quite quickly, and he just decided to sit back for some reason when, you know, there was chances there to pick up a second, and then maybe it's a third, maybe it's a fourth. You know, West Brom were there for the taking. It was well and truly evident, right, to everybody watching the game that West Brom were right there for the taking, and Steve Bruce deliberately went defensive in the game. But it doesn't matter. We still ended up going in at half time 1-0 up, and of course Furlong had a bit of fisticuffs in the second half with Jamal Lewis, and of course Jamal Lewis then had a moment where he just completely forgot where he was, and Furlong managed to come in on a cross and get on the end of this cross from West Brom. And of course, he just smashed and hoped for it going to the back of the net. And it did. They ended up getting the equaliser, but it wasn't all bad, because then Newcastle managed to, of course, get some more chances to try and get back into the lead. And then, of course, Steve Bruce realised that once it got around the 65th minute mark, 65th, 70th minute mark, of course, he brought on Dwight Gale and Jacob Murphy, who, of course, immediately impacted the game, with Dwight Gale getting a header cleared off the line, which then he did eventually end up getting on the end of an absolutely sensational cross by Jacob Murphy right into the box. And it was just a beautiful header. The littlest man on the pitch hopping right up above everybody else to get the winning goal on his first game back for Newcastle United in his first appearance this season as well. Was also seen the first appearance this season for DeAndre Yedlin as well, who just came on to waste down the clock a little bit. And I've got to say, you know, Isaac Hayden played sensational in that makeshift centre-back role, with, obviously, we're missing the likes of Jamal Lascelles, Federico Fernandez and Fabian Shaw, but hopefully they will be fit for the game against Leeds United coming up. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below about how the game played out. Any West Brom fans watching as well, let us know what your thoughts were on the game as well. But we'll move on to the game against Leeds United. If we look at the Premier League table up on screen now, just quickly, Newcastle, of course, after that game, are 12th in the Premier League, 17 points out of 11 games. We do, of course, have that game still against Aston Villa, which is yet to be rescheduled, but we'll find out eventually when that game will be played. And, of course, West Brom down in 19th place, with 6 points out of 12 games. So they are going to have to improve coming up, but they do have some pretty tough games in the next 3 fixtures, with, of course, Man City, Aston Villa and Liverpool being them teams that they do have to play coming up. So it's going to be touch and go for West Brom fans that are watching, but good luck to you for the rest of the season. Hopefully you will be able to survive in the Premier League, but at the end of the day, Newcastle were absolutely amazing in the end and come away with the winner in the game. Till next time, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Marks, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye, lads.